Hello, you little sinners and saints. I'm gonna do another video, of course. You have to do that. Um, it could be my internet too. I'll check into that. I gotta close some things out, but let's go ahead and check this little video. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Killer's Vet. This is a hometown tragedy, the Pike County Massacre. One day, 911 got a call, and 8 people had been found dead, spread out over 3 properties. It was the Roden family. The cops said that they think that is a sophisticated operation. Everybody was executed, and I'm gonna skip back and forth here a little bit. They found weed operations. So at first they thought maybe a drug cartel, there was like weed growing and they had weed in the homes, in 3 of the homes. And after a year, they found that 4 people were connected. Let's go ahead and check out some of the Roden family. Kenneth Roden, he was one that was killed. Hannah, I forget this kid's name. And Clarence, and I think Diana. Hannah had a baby with this Edward Jake Wagner, and that was the baby that was missing. There was other children. There was a lot of people killed, but they didn't kill any of the children. This house is where Chris and Gary was found. These houses kind of just line up together except for this one. And these 3 were in this house. It's Diana, Hannah, and Christopher. That's Christopher. And then Clarence and Hannah Gilly was found in their house. And then Kenneth Roden, he lived on the road a few miles, and he was found in his house. I think this was Kenneth's house. So the 4 people that they had connected to the killings were the Wagners. This is Hannah's child's father, um, Edward Jake Wagner. He's 24. This is George Wagner III. He's 46. Angela Wagner, 46, George Wagner the fourth, which was 25. And this was the oldest Wagner, the third's mother, because they were implemented in crimes too, but they got dismissed and probation and all this. So I think this was Angela's mom. She had signed custody papers or notarized them for the custody of the child, and come to find out that she didn't sign them, and obviously Hannah didn't sign them. In the meantime, they moved from Ohio to Alaska, so they wanted to protect the child. Seems suspicious, just saying. On November 18, it'd been 2.5 years after the murders, is when they got the break in the case that led on to these people. Um, there was 8 counts of murder along with other charges that equaled up to 22 charges in all. Some of the other ones were conspiracy, tampering with evidence, and interception of communications. And this is where they arrested the Wagner family. The father of Hannah's child um, took a plea deal, I think, that said 160 life sentences, but he took the plea deal to get the death penalty off the table, but it could have been 160 years. Um, I want to also add that the cops identified this as they could have had silencers. They were messing with the cameras on the property. Took months of planning. They studied the victims' habits, the routines. They knew the layouts of their house. They knew where they slept. And after each victim was executed, they messed with their phones and the surveillance cameras on the property. Um, 5-year anniversary of the killings is when this gentleman right here, Jake, took the plea deal. He's got life without parole, of course, the 160 life sentences or years. Angela accepted a plea deal shortly after that and said she didn't kill anybody, and those were removed, but she was still got for the 22 charges. Anyway, she got 30 years. And I just looked these up because when I watched the video, the son and the father hadn't been tried yet. But it says George Wagner the fourth will serve life in prison without possibility of parole for 8 aggravated murder charges he was convicted of for the 2016 Pike County massacre. The 8 life sentences will run consecutively. Judge Randy Deering also sentenced him to 121 years in prison for other charges. The father was the last one to get sentenced. Says the final Wagner family member left to stand trial in 2016 Pike County massacre case will appear in front of a pretrial hearing on January 18th. Now that was January 7th, and he faces the 22 charges, the 8 counts of murder. Um, I should have looked up more of what he actually got. I thought that told. But I would say that he's going to spend the rest of his life and 50 other lives in prison. He's 51, so 50 years would be enough just for him to die. Anyway, this is the story of the Pike Massacre. There was a lot of information in this, and I try to condense them down and give you just the gist of it. Sometimes I like to do deep dives on some. I still got the 2 videos coming that I got a lot of. But I just want to thank you for joining me again. And I will talk to you later. Bye.